I call to order the special meeting of the Mount Pleasant City Commission, Monday, December 30th, 2024, at 7 p.m. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Mount Pleasant City Commission recognizes the Anishinaabe, whose ancestral lands the city stands upon today. We acknowledge the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe and recognize that the three bands of Ojibwe, Saginaw, Black River, and Swan Creek, have resided on this land for over 200 years. Our acknowledgement of the full history of the tribe and our commitment to be good stewards of these ancestral lands are an expression of gratitude and appreciation to those ancestors who came before us. We give thanks to the generous care with which the Anishinaabe and those members of the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe of Michigan have given and continue to give to this land and our community. Clerk Bauk, please take the roll.
Commissioner Bush is absent. Commissioner Chapman is absent. Commissioner Ege?
Present.
Commissioner Rollins?
Here.
Commissioner Wingard?
Here.
Vice Mayor Alsager?
Here.
Mayor Perschbacher?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, since we have a quorum, we're going to move on. We do not have any proclamations or presentations. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda tonight? No? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Eke and a second by Vice Mayor. All those in favor say yes?
Yes.
All those opposed, no. We shall move forward. At this time, we will open the floor to public comment on agenda items. Is anyone wishing to speak at this time? Is there anyone on Zoom? Not seeing anyone in the public that wishes to speak, no one on Zoom, we're going to close the public comment. Move on to receipt of petitions and communications, which we have none. There are also no consent items and no public hearings. We're going to move on to our first item on the agenda, which is new business, and consider the amendment of the 2024 operating budget. Manager DeSenz.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and thank you very much to the City Commission for accommodating our special meeting this evening. This evening, the City Commission is asked to consider amendment to the 2024 operating budget. In the absence of Finance Director, we've been working with consultants from Maynard Costerison to help us assemble this. With that, I do want to call up to the podium Rod Taylor, who's the Senior Government Consultant from Maynard Costerison, as well as his colleague as well, Angie Stoneham, and they can give us a rundown on the proposed budgetary amendment.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your time this evening. As mentioned, budget adjustments are necessary at the end of the year. Public Act 2 of 1968 requires local governments to not only pass a budget, but also ensure that budget is not over expenditures. This evening, Angie, who's been working with the city on their finances and reviewing the budget, is going to present a quick overview of some of those adjustments for you. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Angie Stoneham. Thank you for coming to this special meeting tonight. So I've had the privilege of working with the city and the department directors to amend the budget for the year end, and all the reports coming in from the managers, the department heads. I looked at those and reviewed those. I went over the trial balance and revenue expenditure reports of the city as of the date that we were working on, which was early December. And then working with my colleague, Rod Taylor here, who is a senior manager and has a lot of experience with budgets. He did a secondary overview of the numbers, and we tended to be a little on the more conservative side because it's better to be under budget than to go over. If we go over, that's going to have a negative impact, so we certainly did not want that for the city. So we adjusted accordingly, and revenues had an increase of $468,000, and the expenses, there was a small increase of just over $10,000 for the general fund. And then the Unassigned fund balance is projected to be at 7.8 million, which is 43% of expenditures, which is a very healthy fund balance there for the city. And as far as projects with the other funds, there were only just a couple who wanted to carry over. Let's see. I did note those in the memo. Parks and Recreation, they had a project. There was one that decreased significantly because they did not finish that one this year and they needed to carry some forward for next year. So that was the biggest one. But overall, I feel very confident about what we are presenting to you today. Are there any questions with that?
Vice Mayor?
Is anywhere in this budget reflective of us spending our ARPA dollars?
So the ARPA is in deferred revenue right now, and it was my understanding from speaking with managers since that that may be spent this year yet, before the year end, to be applied towards some other expenses. So that is not reflected right now in the increase because it's sitting in the deferred revenue.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, so at this time, we need to have a motion to amend the 2024 operating budget.
I move that we amend the 2024 operating budget as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, we're going to move on to announcements of city-related issues and new business. This is where the commission brings information forward that they wish to present to the residents or to staff. Commissioner Wingard.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that President Jimmy Carter had passed away at the age of 100 yesterday. Flags are flying at half-mast until, I believe, January 27th. He was born in 1924. He lived through World War II, the Civil Rights Movement, every historical event in between there, just kind of an icon of how near those events were, actually, in living memory. Just a quick quote from him: "In our democracy, the only title higher and more powerful than that of president is the title of citizen. It is every citizen's right and duty to help shape the future legacy of our nation." So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Is there anyone else have anything? All right, I would just like to say that I hope that everyone has a wonderful, I hope that everyone has a wonderful and safe New Year's Eve, and that their new year begins with shared love and happiness of their family and friends around them.
I'd like to add to that.
Okay.
This is the end of the year for us, close to it. But I do think that, for me, I want to thank, City Manager Aaron Descents and city staff, because without the work that you do and the staff does, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We wouldn't be successful in the work that we do as city commissioners. I am grateful. I am appreciative because when I ask for information, you make that available. And I truly appreciate that. I do believe that the city commission, or that the city has done tremendous work this year or in the past few years, at least since I have been on the commission. I am glad, I am very proud of what we have done, what we have accomplished. I am proud of the fact that we can have heated debates here and, arrive at, some resolution, and that we do that with respect for one another, and that we honor one another's perspective, and we provide space for one another to articulate our own our points of view and our differences. So I appreciate that. I want to say thanks to my fellow commissioners for their willingness to listen to what we're saying, to listen to the people who have elected us. We're not here, I am not here for myself. We serve the community, and that what we do in the interest of the community, and that we do whatever it is that we have done and the decisions we have made, bearing in mind that those decisions and those actions benefit this particular community. So to everybody here, including Director Lauria, whose team keeps us safe, I want to wish you happy holidays and peace in the new year. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that the entire commission agrees with you, Commissioner Eke, that the staff makes our job very easy. All right, is there anything else? Okay. At this time, we're going to open public comment on agenda and non-agenda items. You may step to the podium if you would like to speak on something on the agenda or something else. You'll be asked to state your name and address and be given 5 minutes. Is there anyone on Zoom at this time? There's no one. Okay. Hang on, let me grab my timer. Okay.
Cynthia Kilmer, 219 North Lansing Street. I really appreciate your comments about President Carter, who was one of my personal heroes in my life. And I'm old enough, to have voted for him. And and I also appreciate your comments about wishing your citizens and the citizens being so important and the community that you serve being important. But right now, I want to talk about, now that I know that you appreciate my commentary, which I hope you do, I want to talk about police procedural television shows for a second. I love them. I am so hooked on NCIS. I watch the reruns, CSI, whatever. I love those darn things, and I'll tell you what most people do. And the reason why we love them is they offer the viewer a sense of order and justice. And the good guys almost always win, and the victims are cared about. We want to help them. We want to save them. It's just great. And it's so artificially comforting in our chaotic world to think those things. Post-World War II, Dragnet was the first show that came on, and everybody loved Dragnet. Dragnet, in fact, was mostly written and edited by the LAPD. And it was sort of a, how do I want to say it, a PR arm of the organization. They did everything they could to sort of make the cops look like really great guys and the citizens look like total doofballs, and they're just the facts, ma'am. Stop talking about your personal life here. So we were all dumb and they were all smart, but that's okay. But police procedurals, I really hate to say this out loud, but they're inaccurate depictions of the real life stresses and situations that police run into, that the officers experience. And it's very not like stress reactions that officers actually have. I mean, you need to think, no more than, Rodney King and some of these recent guys who have been killed. These were reactions to stress. It's not that these guys were waking up that morning saying, I'm going to murder somebody. No, it's just their buttons get pushed. They have this huge frustration, stress reaction, and pretty much they're just out of control. And there's this sort of tribal mind set. This guy's as mad as I am, and they're just as mad as me, and we're a big group. We're all mad. We're going to do this thing. Okay? That's how it happens. Now, in these shows, these procedural shows, my favorite is NCIS, Washington, D.C., but in these shows, there's always like this typical scene, right, where the cop is like so mad at this guy. He's a child killer or whatever, and he's so mad, he whips out his gun, and the guy's on the floor, he's already been hit in the shoulder, whatever, and he just wants to shoot him so bad, he's shaking, right? This is a stress reaction. He wants to kill that guy. You've all seen these, and his partner's like, no, it's not worth it, leave him alone. You got your whole life to live. And so the guy doesn't shoot him, and it all works out okay. Okay, well, that's an example of a stress reaction. Another stress reaction would be the officer has reports to do, and they're late, and people are upset with them, and there's a million things going on at home. Their kid's got to go to dentist, whatever. And too many calls are coming in, and they can't handle those too many calls in that day. And so they become pissed at the people who are making the calls, okay? And that is this reaction to the stress they're feeling. Say, for example, Matt Dillon. Chester runs over, Matt Dillon, in the Long Branch, a fight's breaking out. Now try to imagine Matt Dillon running over there, right, and saying to Kitty, God damn it, Kitty, if you're going to run a saloon, don't you think some problems are going to happen here? Are you going to wake me up at 2 a.m. to constantly be solving your problems? Now, come on. You don't want me to spend all my time over here. Just quit running the damn saloon. Don't let these people in. Whatever. Victim blaming and placing the stress that you're feeling onto the victims that are wanting your help. Okay, this is never depicted on these TV shows because it's a very unattractive thing. But it happens. The officer who says, why were you walking after midnight? Come on, what did you think was going to happen?
Your time.
Right? Time is up, and we're going to talk about Angela Brown's stress reaction and victim blaming in my office next week. Thank you.
All right. At this time, I am going to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, no.
No. I'm just kidding.
All right. We are adjourned at 7:18.
Quickest meeting.
Happy holidays.
Almost quickest meeting.